thanks very much for joining the call. We're still waiting for some more people to come in. But I'm not going to take up too much of your time today. I've planned this, I'll show you the agenda in a minute. But we've had many people on the team working on this product launch. And I want to say thanks very much to all the developers and especially Martin, who's been working on this for the last few months. You may have joined for the previous preview webinar. I've got great news that this is officially launching in half an hour. Right, let's crack on. So first up, I'm Ed Pagecroft. I'm co-founder and CEO of Stockopedia.com. And I've got this fantastic team here who are building some amazing products behind the scenes. This is just one of the things we've been working on and we've integrated into the live site. We're going to be releasing these new charts at 1:30 p.m. You can find the charts in one of two ways. You can go onto any stock report, you can search for a stock report, click the chart tab, or you can hover over tools and click analyze charts. So that's how you can find the charts, or you go straight to this URL. And this URL, www.stockopedia.com/charts, will be available in half an hour at 1:30. Just to let you know, if you're not a subscriber, if you do want free access for 2 weeks to the charts, please go to this URL, stockopedia.com/r/charts. Enter your email and your name. You'll get a confirmation link in your inbox. Click it to set a password, and you'll have 2 weeks free access. There's no credit card, no commitment. Just want everybody to have a good look at the new charts. Next up, we have written an extensive guide. This is available in 4 formats. It's available as PDF, for iBooks, like an EPUB version, a .mobi version for Kindles, and also available online to read in 2 places actually. So you can take this link. Maybe one of the guys can actually copy this into the chat window. With any luck, I can open this up actually. And if I just go to stockopedia.com/books, if you scroll down to the bottom of this page, you will find the charts guide. And on this page, you can download as PDF, iBooks, Kindle, etc. So please do have a good look. It's an extensive write-up of all the features of the new charting library, and you can take it with you on the go on your Kindle or on your iPad. So what's on the agenda? I'm going to give you a quick 5-minute introduction and breeze through some of the features, and then I'm going to spend 25 minutes looking at the interface. So I'm going to run through different features, especially some of the new ones, such as drawing tools and annotations, how to save your own templates, how to customize the chart with, the way that you like it. And at 1:30 p.m. on the dot, one of the guys will be releasing this so that you can go and have a play around with the new features. At that point, you will also be able to ask questions, Q&A. Anyway, I'm going to go straight on. First up, I'm going to give you a quick introduction of the interface. So this is, let me start this from a very basic blank template. This is the new charting interface. And you can see there's a top bar up here, a main chart interface, and a bottom toolbar as well. You can search for stocks in the search box, change the chart types, change the chart's periodicity. You can add events, add your drawings and annotations, add a range of technical studies as overlays or indicators. You can go into full screen mode if you wish. You can also share the chart. You can print it, save to the desktop, etc. And there's a range of custom settings. Save templates are down here on the bottom right. And pretty obviously, you've got dates in the bottom left. Now, I'm going to quickly show you how to set up a chart of your choice. So for example, let's have a look at a stock, Facebook. I'm going to find, hopefully, I will find FB. I can change the chart type. I can change the chart periodicity if I want. I'm going to zoom this in to a 1-year view. I can add events as I wish. Let's say if I wanted to add some dividend, well, Facebook doesn't have dividend payments, but anyway, interim and annual results. I can also add drawings as I wish. And then I can add overlays. So personally, I like adding moving averages. So I'm just going to add a couple of quick moving averages. And I've got the 200-day and the 50-day on here. And I'm going to add an RSI. Now, this is the kind of chart setup that I like to have. Everybody has their own personal favorite chart setting, but this is how I like to view mine. So there's tons of features in here, and I'm going to run through them one by one. But as I said, this is my own setting, so I want to save this as a template. I go down here, click Save Templates, save it as a new template, and I can call this my daily MA view. Saved. And now I can basically use this all the time on any stock. It will always remember the last save view here. So that's a very, very quick run through. And now I just want to go through some of the more core features. So I'm going to start with search and comparisons. So let me go back to a blank template. And you can always do that by clicking down here and going blank template. Now, I'm looking at Facebook, so I might want to compare the S&P 500. I can search, and the search results come back really nicely. All instruments like this, but if you look at all, you'll see stocks mixed in with indices and other instruments. You can change by type to filter the results. So I know I'm looking for the index. Here's the S&P 500. It immediately gets added as a comparison chart here. So we can compare that, see that Facebook has outperformed the S&P index. We can change the color of this line very easily just by clicking this little icon here and changing it, and it will change the comparison chart. I can add multiple things here. So if I want to also add LinkedIn, I can add it. I think, is that LinkedIn? No, that's a different one. But it's been bought by Microsoft, so that's a bad example. But I can, for example, look at Twitter and add it there. So comparison charts, very, very easy to do. Also, if you want to delete one of these, you can either press backspace or you just click the little X icon that's right here. Okay, so next up, time frames and periodicity. Charts are all about time. So you've got to have good time tools. Very, very, very important to know. Right, so first up, I want to show you the periodicity. Now we're launching this with daily charts. It will show the quote, today's quote, as a delayed price on the chart. But you can also change to weekly or monthly charts, which show you obviously less points and bars on the chart. We will be launching intraday charts in a future release. We have already been working on it, but that will come soon. Now, timeframes are easily navigated both by using the axes themselves, so you've got the date axis here, but also, as I already showed you, these quick filters down here. Now, it's worth realizing that if you're on a daily chart, we can't show more than about 5 years history as a daily chart. So if you want to look at long charts, use weekly or monthly views. If you want to do a custom date range, it's very, very simple. Click custom range. This has been a very heavily requested feature. You can either type in your date, so for example, put it in there, and then apply it. Click the dates and apply, and you will get a date range specifically over the frame that you show there. Someone has a mic on. And you can also navigate using these buttons. So you want to zoom out, you can click the minus sign, zoom in, the plus sign. You can also, if you hover over the date axis, you can actually scroll this left and right, which actually gives you a fine-grained control. The other thing to realize is that these are touch sensitive. And you can actually use your mouse to zoom in or zoom out, and you can pinch in or pinch out on an iPad. So this is gesture aware. And you can click and drag the chart left and right too. So you get a very, very fine-grained control of dates. Let me go back to the 1 year view. Right, next up, I want to actually show you, settings and sharing. So on the right here, there are 3 small buttons. First one here, which I think will be very popular, is the full screen view. Especially if you're on a smaller screen, that's really powerful. You can take over all of your screen real estate. So obviously chartists love having big screen views. So please do try that out. The sharing button is fantastic. Whatever you have drawn, drawings, indicators, etc., you can either print them straight here, save to the desktop as an image. So for example, click there and you will get an image that pops up just like that. And you can share that to any discussion. You can share it on social media with each of these buttons. So if you want to just tweet it or put it on Facebook. So please do use the sharing tools. I hope that many people will create projections and good chart drawings and share them onto the Stockopedia discussion boards. Finally, in this settings box, we've got a variety of options. If you don't want to see the name up here, you can just uncheck it. You can add a crosshair, which gives you the price on the vertical axis and the date on the bottom axis. You can also use the legend, which shows you the open, high, low, close and volume on the chart. I'm not going to use that at the moment. You can also put a volume underlay on the actual chart itself, so that's the daily shares volume traded. Please note that doesn't give you a separate axis to look at the actual volume. So you can actually add volume in another way by clicking indicators and adding an actual separate volume chart underneath. So just beware of that. There's also something called today's price line, which I've already checked, which gives a dotted line of current price. And there's also percentage scale and log scale options too. Now, the percentage scale will work from a point of 0 in the current view up to today's price. So if you wanted to see how the price performance was over a couple of years, you can go from 0, say, up to whatever the percentage was. This axis also is the default option if you are comparing any two instruments together. So if you're looking, for example, if you've got the index below, you will always see a percentage chart on the right. So beware of that. I want to look at chart types. So we're launching this with several key types. There's obviously the line you've got right there. And we also have candlesticks. For those who don't understand candlesticks or bars, it's very, very simple to understand. Each one of these candles contains 4 bits of data. Daily price data has the open price, the high price, the low price, and the close price. And each daily bar is presented with the open and the close as a filled out candle and a wick, or some people call them the shadow, which shows the high price and the low price on each day. If the bar is red, it means the price has fallen from the open to the close. If it's green, it's gone up. I don't want to teach grannies to suck eggs, but some people might not be aware of these simple chart types. Also, we have a simple bar chart, which is the same data but represented differently. We're also providing area charts. I won't go into any detail on that, but we also provide more advanced types such as Heikin-Ashi, which are similar to candlestick charts, but they give a much better representation of trend. You can think of them as candlesticks that are designed to show, keep in green the kind of uptrends and show downtrends in red. They are slightly different, so if we switch between the two, you can see the differences. I recommend you read up on them in the guide, or you go and search for them online. But Heikin-Ashis are gaining in popularity all the time. There's also pointed figure charts. At the moment, these are not customizable. I don't have time to explain pointed figure. Really need a full webinar on pointed figure charts. But we will be making the periods of these more customizable in a future release. So just beware, they are here with some default options, and we will be improving them over time. Anyway, I'm going back to candlesticks, and I'm going to stay on daily charts. Next up, I want to show you, before I go into events, drawing tools, and technical studies, I want to show you how to do the save templates. I already alluded to it, but quite simply, whatever settings you've set up here, you can go and click the save templates, and you can add it as a new template. You've got 5 save templates out of the box, and you can fill those up and edit them as you wish. Now, so let me load up my daily moving average view that I set up earlier. And every time I load a chart, this one will be loaded if it's the last setting I've used. But if you like, you can change any of the settings. So let's just say, for example, I wanted to add another third moving average to this and make it a, for example, 20-day moving average. You will see down here a little save icon pops up. And that gives you a one-click update to your current view. So if I click that, now, if I go onto one of my other templates and I come back to my daily view, you will see there are 3 moving averages on the chart. So that's a really nice feature, because it means if whatever edits you make, if you want to save it to your view, you can in one click. Otherwise, you can just discard them. As I said, if you ever want to do a blank template, you can click here. Very easily, you can change the name by clicking the edit button. This is only to edit the name. So let me just edit that and save it down. And if you want to delete anything, there's a quick delete button. So pretty straightforward. That is saved templates. Next up, I know a lot of people have been asking for this, drawing tools. One of the most important things I think that chartists like. And let me go back to, I'm going to slightly simplify this. And I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to get rid of the events. And I'm going to save it to my template. There we go. Okay, so drawing tools. In the draw menu right here, you click that and you will see we've got 4 categories: annotations, shapes, lines, and measurements. Each one of these groups allows you to do something different, obviously. You can put simple text on there, which is, if you just want to add some blank text, this is text. It doesn't do much more than that. But you'll see whenever you add a drawing tool, you'll see this extra black top toolbar pops down. And these are the drawing tools. So if I would rather, let me undo that. If I'd rather add red text, you would click that black button and you would see you will get a color picker. You can change the font size and the font and add what you like. Let me just go into full screen mode and go to 2 years. And I'm going to add a call out box. What I can do is I can point anywhere on the chart and go, sorry, this is a key moment. So if you wanted to add a note of, for example, when someone had said buy, or it was a chart signal, or there was a death cross, that is a very, very useful way of looking at it. And you can close those tools at any time. And that will stay, all drawings are persisted forever in the database until you delete them on that stock. So you could navigate away, go away, come back next week or next year, and you will see all your drawings permanently on this. You can delete them very, very easily. If you hover over a drawing, you just right click to delete. Simple. Other drawing tools, arrows, you can also put shapes. So here we can just look at a little circular shape. And I hope people will have some fun with this. And also, we've got, for everyone who loves drawing lines, various line tools. So here you can see you could draw a trend line and another trend line up there. And you could say here, somebody has, for example, broken down through support. There you go. And you get some nice ability to control the layout of these drawings. As I said, right click to delete. So you hover, you can right click or use 2 fingers if you're on another device. And that's about it. You've got undo and redo buttons, but that's it. There's also a nice channel tool, which with 1 click, 2 clicks, drag down, you can create channels. And there's also a nice measurement and Fibonacci tool. So if you want to see, without using the percentage vertical axis, you can use the measurement tool and just measure between 2 points. And up in the toolbar, up in the black toolbar, you will see the percentage between those 2 points. So it's a pretty nice array of drawing tools. And I just wanted to show you how this persists, because if I go away and look at Apple, for example, and load that, and then I come back to Facebook, where is it? There it is. It's still there. So very, very useful. Right, next up, we're going to look at event flags. Event flags indeed. It's another one of our very, very requested features. I'm just going to load a stock that I have actually bought in the past. IG Design used to be called International Greetings. And here's a template. If you click the events up here, you can actually add your portfolio buys and your portfolio sell transactions. And you can see, you hover over here and you can see how many shares you've bought. So that's a really nice feature. It shows you if you were late on a purchase or you want to beat yourself up because you sold too early. Very, very useful. There are other event flags, company events, and we're providing annual results, interim results, dividends, and splits. And all of these are available right there. And you can hover over any of these to get a little bit more information about, say, how much was paid, etc. Please note for dividends, we show both the ex-dividend date and the payment date. So very nice features there indeed. Next up, overlays and indicators. And I'm rattling through here because I really want you all to go, and it's such an intuitive interface. It's really nice for everybody to be able to go and use them. Right, let me just get rid of some of these drawings so I can show you. Now, we've curated a list of what we see as some of the most popular and effective technical studies, and they're split into these 2 menu items, overlays and indicators. Now, there's a key difference here. basically overlays get added to the main price chart. And there are 4 categories. Trend signals, for example, like moving averages. Some channel indicators, Bollinger Bands can be quite popular. Some stop loss systems, and a variety of more advanced systems, including Ichimoku clouds. Phil Hoffer will be very pleased about this, as well as some others. We may add more in future, so please let us know what you're looking for. But one thing to notice here is there's a nice little eye icon, and if you click that, you get a description, much like on stock reports, of what the heck this indicator is and how to understand it. So we define it precisely. It also shows you what parameters there are. Now, if we were to add one of these, for example, let's add a Bollinger Band. If we were to add one of these, you can see up very nicely up here is a little helpful indicator to show what this is. Now, you can delete in multiple ways, but you can delete them by clicking Remove All on the actual drop-down menu, or you can actually delete them using the X icon here. If you want to change the settings to any of these, just click right here, and you'll get a modal pop-up, which allows you, which I showed you earlier, which allows you to change the periodicity. We've launched with exponential and simple moving averages, and you can change the color. So nice features, very easy to use. And it's quite similar behavior for the technical indicators. So if I click here, we can see we've grouped them into very sensible groupings. Indicators get added underneath the main price chart. So, for example, if I was to add the RSI, which I personally like to use, this is a relative strength index, and many people like to look at it for timing swing trades, etc., because it very clearly shows you when things may be overbought or oversold, and they might provide, useful swing entry points. You can see that you can add multiple indicators. So, for example, there's moving average, crossover, and divergence. And if you have a main price chart and a couple of indicators, if you hover over just between, you'll see a little handle which you can move down. And this means you can actually control the space that you're giving to your indicators quite finely and precisely. If you want to get a bit more space, you can click these square icons on either of these windows, and this indicator will take over the whole space without deleting your other indicators. Nice little feature. Now, if you want to actually change the settings on any of these, you can click Options and, the little settings icon right here. There's the settings icon. And you can get much more detailed control over your indicators. So I know a lot of people have been waiting for this as a feature. There you can change your moving average, crossover, divergence in any way you like. You can change the colors, you can change the periods, enjoy. One thing to be very aware of, and I think this will catch a few people out, you need to understand that the periodicity of all the indicators, overlays and the indicators, is coupled with the periodicity of the chart. So if you're looking at a daily chart, these are daily moving averages. If you're looking at a weekly chart, they will be weekly moving averages. Now that may catch a few people out, but so for example, if I wanted to create, I've set up a daily chart. If I want to change this to weekly, I might want to change the periods of my moving averages so that they are more similar to my preferred 200-day and 50-day moving averages. And you can, of course, save that as a new template, and I'm going to call this my weekly MA view. So, and then it's an absolute breeze to go and switch between, for example, a daily view and a weekly view, let's say. Okay, so that is pretty much the sum of what I wanted to talk about. Okay, it's not actually 1:30 p.m. yet. I've still got 3 minutes. But the guys, if you are listening in, please do release the new charts to the live website. I'm trying to think what else I can go over. It's very, very much a extremely intuitive, very, very usable, in the browser, responsive set of libraries, and I think you're going to really enjoy using them. You can store all your drawings and annotations. You can hopefully use these on iPad. And this is a key component of the absolutely new site that we've been working on for a very long time now, which will be launched, I hope, in the not too distant future. So I'm going to now, at past, you can all go and play with this on the main site. And I would also be going to stay online, and I'm going to answer questions if you do have them. Thanks very much for listening in. I'm going to start looking at some of the questions. So, is this all end of day data? Yes, it is, but we do have today's quote added. The intraday data, which is will come in 5-minute bars, will be coming soon. So that's an answer to Trevor. Please be patient with that. Real-time data, I anticipate we will not have a chance to look at until next year. So don't expect it soon. Okay, I'm going to go down. Prices are delayed by 15 minutes. Yes. Thank you for adding choice of color. I'm glad you appreciate it. Volume profile available as an indicator. Well, we do have a variety of indicators. I'm not sure what you mean by volume profile. There is also, there are some volume oscillators and volume indexes, for example. On-balance volume is quite popular. I'm not sure what you mean by volume profile, but do let us know about it, Doncha. Can you add fundamental data to the charts? That's a very good question. At the moment, you can't. And in future, we will be allowing it. So we are going to be providing charting of stock ranks and other fundamental data. We've been working on this for quite some time. It will be released as part of the new application, I hope. And certainly stock ranks data will. So please be patient with that. Can you share your charts to Twitter? Yes, of course. Once again, the sharing is all here. There's a Twitter icon right there. And if you click it, it does work. So does Facebook sharing. But in the meantime, you can just click Save to Desktop if you have any issues. Do the flags show trading updates? We're going to be adding news. What we found is that we got so much company news, it can slow down results on some of the really big caps. So we're trying to work on a way to filter the RNS and company announcements to a smaller or more impactful set that has, but we might need to do some other machine learning and so on just to try and whittle this down. But we will be adding news reports in future, and also, I hope, discussions and comments from staff and possibly community too. So I would love it if you could actually see your own comments and say comments of Paul Scott or whoever there. Alert system. We are actually working on stock screening for technicals and alerts for technicals at the moment. And this will also be integrated with our chart signals package that we are massively improving this year. So how easy is it to draw a straight horizontal line? I did show you that. Super, super easy. Single line, 1 click, 2 clicks. And you can, of course, do this. You can do big, thick lines, 1 click, 2 clicks. So very, very easy to add lines. It's all HTML5. Yes, there's no Flash at all. This is fully modern web standards compatible. It will even work, well, it probably won't work on an iPhone at the moment, but because our main template is not that iPhone friendly, but I can guarantee in the new app we have exactly the same charts and it works beautifully on phones. Do we cover all UK indices for stocks? Yes, we do have all the indices in here. So at the moment we do have a lot of FTSE indices, so you can find different forms of FTSE 100, FTSE 250, etc., etc. So please do go and explore that. Yes, someone has moaned for 3 years about this, so I'm really glad we've finally done it. Weighted moving averages, we aren't supplying at the moment, but we'll consider it in future. Yes, drawings are persisted on, well, they're persisted in our systems. We may provide download in future. And will we provide extra tutorials? Well, I did think that I should possibly, oh, by the way, it is past half past. So if you go to this URL, stockopedia.com/charts, you should be able to see and play with the new, yes, it is, it's live. So there you can see they've loaded up pretty quickly, and it does take a little bit longer to load it because this is a really big application that's in the browser. So do be patient. If you're on a slower connection, it might take a little bit longer. But there it is. You can find it from any stock report. So for example, if you go onto Vodafone and you click chart, you will go through straight to the charts page here. And also, if you can go up to tools, analyze charts, that we really should highlight a bit more as being a new feature. So I hope you enjoy it. If you really do prefer the old charts, click prefer old charts. But I very, very much doubt that many of you are going to do this. We will be providing tutorials. As I said at the beginning, one of the best ways if you want more information is to download this guide. I hope one of the guys will show you this and share the link in the chat window. So you can download the guide and actually it's also available online at this link. So if you actually go to help.stockopedia.com, in fact, let me show you where to go. There's 2 ways. Up here, you can either read the guide here, or you can read our ebooks there. I'm going to show you firstly the guide. You go into product guide, go down to charts, and you will find an extensive online information feast, which explains very much how to use all of these different indicators. You may even find animated GIFs in here, which show you, for example, how to do more complicated actions. But we've also, if I can just get rid of that, we've also done this as an ebook. So scroll down here, and there's the Stockopedia Charts Guide. So go to the help menu, you can find the book or the online guide, and he'll get it on your Kindle. I think what we'll probably do is add some video content to actually give a bit more training on each of these key components. And I'm not ruling out doing another more extensive webinar because I appreciate I'm rushing through this. Okay, so there's so many questions here. I'm having a look. Thanks very much for listening in, guys. Oh, one thing, the vertical axis. I think it's really worth you doing this with your mouse. So if you hover over this vertical axis, you also can actually change by dragging up and down the size and scale of the vertical and horizontal axes, which is quite an important thing, I think. And so, and you can click and drag. So if you want to show the future, you don't have to go and sort of click an option to show the future. You can just drag to the future. Which is quite useful. Will we be able to view 12 months using 5-minute pricing? I'm sorry, Jitesh, it's not going to be possible. The license fees at the moment are a huge bar for us to get over. Fibonacci lines, do we have Chaikin money flow? I think we were discussing adding it. There are other indicators that people like. We haven't added every indicator that we could. We've been trying to focus the interface on simplicity, which is very hard to do. Anyway, let me know if there's any other major questions. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm anticipating a lot of questions, so please do click this green icon on the bottom right and start a new conversation with one of the team. So, you can type in any message you like, and you can actually add screenshots if you like, by clicking, I think you can click that GIF. Oh no, I don't want to add that. But if you take a screenshot, you can actually add it using that paperclip. So do send us messages. I know we'll have a flood of probably tickets today, but we've done as much testing as we can without the full power of the community, and I'm sure you're going to keep us busy for the rest of the week. Once again, can I just reiterate, for anybody who is not a subscriber, please do go to stockopedia.com/r/charts. r/charts. You'll have to enter an email and name. We'll send you a link, set your password, and you'll have 2 weeks free access. We're making this absolutely sort of free to use at the moment. We want to gain as much feedback as we can, and that's really that. Thanks for the compliments, guys. It's very, very helpful. Paul Scott's asking me what is a hard refresh. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up now, guys. Thank you very much for listening in, and I hope you'll send us lots of information. We'll keep improving this over time. We've launched what I think is far beyond a kind of minimal viable charting product. We've been working on this for some months. There's been so much work gone into it. Thank you to everybody on the Stockopedia team. The guys here and in our Indian office have been fantastic, and it's really required the entire team, from content, front-end development, back-end development, data development, etc. So I'm really, really proud of what we've done. So thanks for listening in. I'm going to stop the webinar now. Thanks a lot.